funny. This is the first convention where Coheed has really become like the big sort of feature because the record is coming out. Yeah, it's the first record that's non-conceptual, so it's almost like, why is this here? But when I started writing this record, my wife and I, we decided to do this thing she likes to call Our Transient Life, where we had this house in upstate New York, and we thought, the idea of children was on the horizon, and we weren't too sure we wanted to raise kids there, so we decided to, try different locations, and Brooklyn happened to be the one that we found ourselves spending the most time in. And while I was there, I kind of fell outside of my comfort zone, writing-wise, and kind of had this like almost like an identity crisis in a way, where I was writing this material with the sense of exposure, knowing my neighbors could hear, and it was just such a different approach for me that I was like, well, I was struggling with the idea of it being a Coheed album, and then the birth of my son and my wife telling me we were pregnant kind of made its way into the record, and our house got destroyed. So it was like all of these things sort of kind of made their way into the record, and the problems were big, the problems were small, whatever. But ultimately, we came out of it, and we have this beautiful child that, life is good sort of situation, and it's basically a time capsule of the last 2 years of my life, and it's interesting. I love it. I think ultimately, when I think of Coheed and I think of the concept and the relationship with the concept, I think of it as like its own sort of personality, like, shy and reclusive at the first records, and a kind of thing that sort of keeps to itself, and it just kind of, the more we produced these albums, the more comfortable I think the audience sort of got with themselves, and until we get to this point where there's a full reveal, and it's like, I'm comfortable in my skin. I can tell you my situation and not feel judged about it, and I think that just goes for everybody, and I think there's that understanding between Coheed and the people that appreciate, the fans that sort of accept it. Doing a children's book right now. It's got a couple more pages that need to be illustrated, but hopefully that'll see the light of day next year. Well, yeah, there is the Good Apollo story that we're working on. My wife and I are still toying around with Kia Z2. We're starting to think about going down some different avenues. I mean, we sort of penned that script a little bit, or the layout and template of that story, but now we're thinking about some new ideas that might shift it. So we're just kind of slow. It's a little tough now with Atlas. He sort of takes up a lot of our focus and time. Not in a bad way. We love it. But we'll see. Slowly but surely, something will sort of see the light. My dream would be to have Good Apollo 1, the series, like sort of complete, and maybe have that part of the celebration. But we'll see. But yeah, there's going to definitely be some sort of Neverender. That's just like what we do now. Hi, I'm Claudio from Coheed and Cambria, and look for us on Last.fm.